Hello everyone, Yom Tov, and welcome to another of your folk tales and fables. How are you all today? Hope you're all keeping well and that the weather's been nice to you. And just in case we have any new people here, hello and welcome to our folk tales and fables, which normally should happen on a Wednesday. But I was a bit out of sorts yesterday, so I couldn't bring it to you then. But nevertheless, it's here now. So, you're going to be getting 2 videos today. So it's going to keep you busy if you've got nothing else to do. And listen to me telling you stories. Today, we are going to visit Hawaii. Because I thought I'm going to spread myself out a bit further and go a bit more around the world geographically. So I thought today, because last week we did the islands of Japan, so this week we're doing Hawaii. I don't really know anything about Hawaii. I do have a friend called Amma who has a channel called Innate Light. She does tarot. She's excellent. And she lives on the island of Hawaii. But that's as much as I know. So today I'm going to read you a couple of short stories. Apparently these are the basis of all the folk tales that go back into the history of the Hawaiian people and their beliefs. So they've got a sort of religious, if you look at it in another way, it's supernatural, it's extremely creative, it speaks an awful lot about the Hawaiian people and, what a lovely people they are, very attuned to nature, and obviously being islanders, they're as au fait with the sea as they are with the land. So, and, like I said, I don't know an awful lot about Hawaii. My knowledge of that was Dog the Bounty Hunter, to be honest. That's about the only site of Hawaii I ever really saw, apart from Hawaii Five-0 when I was a kid. But I don't think that really counts today, and I'm just showing my age. Anyway, I want to bring you a couple of stories. And the first one is called Snaring the Sun. And the second one is called The Origins of Fire. So without any further ado, so I'm checking the clock now, it's 6:30 here in the UK. So, without any further ado, please sit back and relax, get yourself nice and comfy, and I'm going to read you these stories from Hawaii. And I really do hope that you enjoy them. Now, Maui, I'm not going to put these on actually because they reflect into there. I'll just put up the vision, make it a bit, that's better. Snaring the Sun. Maui was the son of Hina, Lau, and Hina, and they dwelt at a place called Makalia above Kahakuloa on West Maui. Now his mother Hina made kapas, and as she spread them out to dry, the days were so short that she was put to great trouble and labour in hanging them out and taking them in day after day until they were dry. Maui, seeing this, was filled with pity for her, for the days were so short that no sooner had she got her kapas all spread out to dry than the sun went down, and then she had to take them in again. So he determined to make the sun go slower. He first went to Waihilohi in Hamakua on East Maui to observe the motions of the sun. There he saw that it rose toward Hana. He then went up onto Haleakala and saw that the sun in its course came directly over that mountain. He then went home again, and after a few days went to a place called Pai Loko at Wahi. There he cut down all the coconut trees and gathered the fibre of the coconut husks in great quantity. This he manufactured into strong cord, and one moe, seeing this, said tauntingly to him, "You'll never catch the sun. You are an idle nobody." Oops. Maui answered, "When I conquer my enemy and my desire is attained, I will be your death." So he went up to Haleakala again, taking his cord with him. And when the sun arose above where he was stationed, he prepared a noose of the cord, and casting it, snared one of the sun's larger beams and broke it off. And thus he snared and broke off one after another all the strong rays of the sun. Then shouted he exultingly, "You're my captive, and now I'm going to kill you for going so fast." And the sun said, "Let me live, and you'll see me go more slowly hereafter. Behold, haven't you broken off all my strong legs and left me with only the weak ones?" So the agreement was made, and Maui permitted the sun to pursue its course, and from that time on it went more slowly. And that is the reason why the days are longer at one season of the year than at another. It was this that gave the name to that mountain, which should properly be called Alihikala Sunsnarer, and not Haleakala. When Maui returned from this exploit, he went to find Moe, who had reviled him. But that individual was not at home. He went on with his pursuit until he came upon him at a place called Kauai Pilo Pilo, on the shore to the eastward of the Black Rock called Keka, north of Lahaina. Moe dodged him up hill and down, until at last Maui, growing so angry, leapt upon him and killed him. And the dead body was transformed into a long rock, which is there to this day by the side of the road. So, if Emma's watching this, and if she can tell me anything about this story, now I would love to hear it. You know, if she knows about this long rock that's on the side of the road. Now the next story we have is the origin of fire. Maui and Hina dwelt together, and to them were born 4 sons, whose names were Maui Mua, Maui Hope, Maui Kiki, and Maui o Kalana. These 4 were fishermen. One morning, just as the edge of the sun lifted itself up, Maui Mua roused his brethren to go fishing. So they launched their canoe from the beach at Kaupo on the island of Maui, where they were dwelling, and proceeded to the fishing ground. Having arrived there, they were beginning to fish, when Maui o Kalana saw the light of a fire on the shore they had left, and said to his brothers, "Look, there's a fire burning. Whose fire can that be?" And they answered, "Whose indeed? Let's go back to the shore, and that we can get our food cooked there. But first let us get some fish." So after they had obtained some fish, They turned towards the shore, and when the canoe touched the beach, Maui Mua leapt ashore and ran forward towards the spot where the fire had been burning. Now, the curly-tailed alai, a mud hen, they were the keepers of the fire, and when they saw him coming, they scratched the fire out and flew away. While Maui Mua was defeated and returned to the house of his brothers. Then they said to him, "Well, what about the fire?" He said, "Yeah, what fire? When I got there was no fire. It was out. I suppose some man had the fire, and, that wasn't the case. The alai are the proprietors of the fire, and our bananas are all stolen." Well, when they heard that, they were filled with anger and decided not to go fishing again, but to wait for the next appearance of the fire. But after many days had passed without their seeing the fire, they went fishing again, and behold, there was the fire. And so they continually tantalised. They were just tantalised by it. Only when they were out fishing would the fire appear, and when they returned, they could never find it. Well, this was the way of it. The curly-tailed alai knew that Maui and Hina had only these 4 sons, and if any of them stayed on shore to watch the fire while the others were out in the canoe, the alai knew it by counting those in the canoe, and it wouldn't light the fire. Only when they could count 4 men in the canoe would they light the fire. So Maui Mua thought it over and said to his brothers, "Tomorrow morning go fishing, and I'll stay ashore. But take the calabash and dress it in kapa and put it in my place in the canoe, and then go out to fish." So they've obviously got some kind of mannequin of sorts, and they're going to dress it up and make it look like Maui Mua. So it looks like there's 4 of them in the canoe. That's a clever plan. Well, they did so, and when they went out to fish the next morning, the alai counted and saw 4 figures in the canoe, and then they lit the fire and put the bananas on to roast. Before they were fully baked, one of the alai cried out, "Our dish is cooked. Behold, Hina has a smart son." And with that, Maui Mua, who had stolen close to them unperceived, leapt forward, seized the curly-tailed alai and exclaimed, "Now I'm going to kill you, you scamp of an alai. Behold, it is you who are keeping the fire from us. I will be the death of you for this." Then answered the alai, "If you kill me, the secret dies with me, and you won't get that fire." And as Maui Mua began to wring its neck, the alai spoke again and said, "Let me live, and you shall have the fire." So Maui Mua said, "Tell me, where is the fire?" And the alai replied, "It is in the leaf of the ape plant, which is called the Alocasia macroorisa. Honestly, my pronunciation's terrible, sorry. So, by the direction of the alai, Maui Mua began to rub the leaf stalk of the ape plant with a piece of stick, but the fire wouldn't come. Again he asked, "Where is this fire that you are hiding from me?" The alai answered, "In a green stick." Well, he rubbed the green stick, but didn't get any fire. So went on until finally the alai told him that he would find it in a dry stick, and so indeed he did. But Maui Mua, in revenge for the conduct of the alai, after he'd got the fire from the dry sticks, said, "Now there is one more thing to try." And he rubbed the top of the alai's head until it was red with blood. And the red spot stays there on the alai to this day. So that is the Hawaiian story of how they made fire. That was really interesting. I didn't know about anything like that. You know, I don't know what I'm not quite sure if I've pronounced it properly. It's A-L-A-E. So, if you Google L-A-A-E, no, A-L-A-E, you know, honestly, one of these days, I'm going to say all my words correctly, and then you'll report to me that you've all turned white overnight or something with the shock. Honestly, my pronunciations do not get any better, although I do try. So, let's have a look. Do you think we should try and squeeze another one in? What do you think? It's hard to say what I should, let's see. Kahala Opuna, Princess of Manoa. Wonder how, is that a long one? Oh my goodness me, would be here all day if you read that. No, that's going to be a long one, guys, and we definitely don't have time for that one. I'm just quickly looking through to see if I can... here's a short one. This one's called The Battle of the Owls. The following is a fair specimen of the animal myths current in ancient Hawaii and illustrates the place held by the owl in Hawaiian mythology. There lived a man named Kapoi at Kahehuna in Honolulu, who went one day to Kauelo to get some thatching for his house. And on his way back, he found some owl's eggs, which he gathered together and brought home with him. And in the evening, he wrapped them in tea leaves and was about to roast them in hot ashes, when an owl perched on the fence which surrounded his house and called out to him, "Oh, Kapoi, give me my eggs." Kapoi asked the owl, "How many eggs had you?" "7 eggs," replied the owl. Kapoi then said, "Well, I wish to roast these eggs for my supper." The owl asked a second time for its eggs, and was answered by Kapoi in the same manner. Then said the owl, "Oh, heartless Kapoi, why don't you take pity on me? Give me my eggs." Kapoi then told the owl to come and take them, and the owl, having got the eggs, told Kapoi to build up a heiau, or temple, and instructed him to make an altar and call it the temple by the name of Manua. Kapoi built the temple as directed, set kapu days for its dedication, and placed the customary sacrifice on the altar. News spread to the hearing of Kakeuihua, who was then king of Oahu, living at the time in Waikiki, that a certain man had kapued certain days for his heiau and had already dedicated it. This king had made a law that whomever among his people should erect a heiau and kapu the same before the king had had his temple kapued, that man should pay the penalty of death. Kapoi was thereupon seized by the king's orders and led to the heiau of Kupalaha in Waikiki. That same day, the owl that had told Kapoi to erect a temple gathered all the owls from Lanai, Maui, Molokai and Hawaii to one place at Kalapueo. All those from the Kūlau districts were assembled at Kanoniakapueo, and those from Kauai and Nihau at Puei Hulunui near Moanalua. It was decided by the king that Kapoi should be put to death on the day of Kane. Or is that Kane? I'm not sure. When that day came, at daybreak the owls left their places of rendezvous and covered the whole sky over Honolulu. And as the king's servants seized Kapoi to put him to death, the owls flew at them, pecking them with their beaks and scratching them with their claws. Then there was fought the battle between Kakuihua's people and the owls. At last the owls conquered and Kapoi was released, the king acknowledging that his Akua, his own god, was a powerful one. From that time on, the owl has been recognised as one of the many deities venerated by the Hawaiian people. Right, well there is something I didn't know. I mean, I know that owls have always been seen as almost like winged oracles, especially by the Romans. You know, they were a superstitious bunch of Romans, and they held the owl in great esteem. So obviously must be something obviously very true of the Hawaiian people as well, which of course I didn't know before. So I'm very, very glad that I picked Hawaii for our stories today. Apparently I've heard that in Hawaii there are an awful lot of warrior spirits that they sort of patrol the islands and they keep the islands safe. They're almost like battle warriors, but they're actually spirits, and people have occasionally seen them, and they're in sort of full battle dress. But again, I wonder if Amma, if you're watching this, if you can shed any light on that, you know, that would be great. And then we can learn about that. But I can't remember the exact name of these warrior spirits. But the ones that obviously have gone into battle to, you know, defend Hawaii and what have you. I mean, they may have had battles with other island peoples from around the area. I don't know. I don't really know the geography of that very well. But anyway, that has been your folk tales for today. It'll be more like folklore, really, more likely than anything else. If anybody has any idea of where they would like me to go next week, then I can easily get that sorted out for you. But if nobody has any suggestions, because I'm always open to suggestions, and if you ask for something, I'll, you know, if I can't do it, I'll tell you, but more than likely I will. I'll just go ahead and I'll pick somewhere else that we haven't travelled to yet. You know, we're getting little snapshots, you know, folk tales around the world, you know, and really going there. I must admit, there's always one place I wanted to go, was Hawaii. And I've heard that Maui's supposed to be a beautiful place. It would be nice to have, well, I would love to have gone there when I could walk, you know. I don't know what it's like when you're in a wheelchair, but, you know, it would have been nice. I love islands. That's why I love Greece so much, because I've been to the islands there, and oh, if I had won the lottery, I'd retire there. Honestly, it would be fantastic. I would love it. Anyway, I'm now looking at the clock, and it's coming to that time again, because I don't want to keep you too long. I try not to stray too much if I can. Well, I do hope that you've enjoyed today's stories, and I want to thank you very, very much for being here, and thank you so much for watching and for listening to me while I told you the stories, and I do hope you liked them. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you are living your best life, because I do think we should all try and live our best lives. I don't see why not, do you? Anyway, I'm going to say bye-bye to you for now. I am going to see you again very, very soon, so don't worry about that. And I want you to take care of yourselves, and I'm sending you lots and lots of love. So I'll say bye-bye to you for now. Take care, guys. See you later. Bye. Bye for now.